Alrighty, there we go. That's, nobody exactly expected this to be coming today. But, yeah, so, sorry that I wasn't updating the title earlier. Apparently it's been stuck on the wrong title for a couple days there. I don't know why exactly it took 7 attempts at mashing on the update button for it to actually update, but whatever. So, Comcast is hopefully repaired at this point. They came by today, and apparently they needed to go replace a bunch of crap that ended up going haywire for one reason or another. So, seeing as I don't know how much was cut off of that last one, here's the general shtick of what went down since then. So, yeah, Aznabel and one of his team members here is down. Hopefully he doesn't turn into a zombie. One of Butts' units was taken out, which was Raparty the Gremlin up here. So hopefully he'll be revived pretty soon here. Yeah, Katrita's team has taken a few losses, but other than that, it's been generally pretty stable. So at this point, yeah, where we left off last time, I had 4 squads going to take this center town. I had Steve over here just kind of marauding the countryside, taking this whole area. And, yeah, Troy was over here, generally feeling like a bit of a douchebag because he managed to lose this town to a bunch of fairies. So that's not embarrassing or anything. Anyway, so he's just going to sit there. Anyway, the squad's actually decapitated at this point, so free EXP whenever. Just have Amanda guarding the town at this point. I think we've taken out all their birds. Haven't seen any roaming around, so that's about that. So right, let's go get this thing going then. So Butts' team probably gonna have to retreat here, just because they were having a little bit of a hard day. But yeah, yesterday was not ideal. It was just one of these cases where, for whatever friggin' reason, everything completely broke down, and, you know, it goes how it goes. Like, I tried to get it up and running, but there really wasn't much that I could do, considering it was apparently a hardware issue. But I'm hoping that maybe everything is at least looking like it's heading in the right direction, finances-wise, maybe. So hopefully that issue ends up correcting itself, at which case this could maybe go back to normal. We'll see. I still probably will end up downing it to, you know, probably a couple days a week, just so that I can get some time to go handle other things as well. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'll go attack weakest here just to get these guys taken care of. Just to do as much as they possibly can. You have to say, they're doing alright. Like, as much as Barbara's team was a bit of a disappointment up to this point, they're actually doing pretty okay here. I have to say, definitely would have expected worse things out of them. Okay, so they captured however the hell you pronounce that. Right, what do you have? Okay, so we still don't have a witch den or anything like that. I want Butts to take one of those. Think there's anything around here that would interest you? They might have a smart guy like you. Well, I mean, he does own a bar, so he's probably pretty smart. Actually, that's what I always find a little bit funny. Like, in so many movies, they're like, oh, he's a simple bartender, man, must be an idiot. Like, dude, guy, like, if there's a guy that is a bartender and owns their own bar, that guy has completed his entire story arc. Like, that guy is pretty much solid. Like, they're good. They're good to go. They've accomplished what they want to accomplish. There's really no trying to stereotype that as, oh, that guy was dumb or something. Like, no. They probably just went and accomplished all their dreams. That's being that kind of role. Right, let's see. Her team, not doing super great, but I'll send them in with Rick. Actually, I think I'll have them just tailing Rick here. So Rick's going to be the main brunt of that attack there. More or less what I want to do is get these 2 towns a little bit defended. So they're probably... No, let's have you go this way and then up to here. Just to have a little bit more going on. I know it's 3... Well, actually it looks like 4 decapitated squads running around. But at the very least I want everybody rested up and ready to go. Okay. Go ahead and go for weakest. But yeah, today's gonna be a weird one. There was actually there was a thing I wanted to do that well, that's one of the runs that I thought was completely dead for a long time, and I finally found the save file. So we'll see how that goes. You know, save that for probably in a few hours here. Figure I did just about everything else I could do today. Okay. They're all doing their thing. Ooh, got an armament. Good. Good. Now, these guys, they probably healed up their leader, I'd figure. Yeah, it looks like it. Actually, no, they just healed up that one guy. Not even their leader. Dang, Rick is just turning into a beast at this point. Holy crap. Just over here throwing out more damage than Steve. And again, this is just like last time. And I wonder if he's also going to defect, because Steve doesn't trust him anymore. Hopefully there aren't any defection options in this one. Like, would you like to not defect? What? Yes or no? Well, no. Okay, you defected! Oh. I don't even know if that was the right number of knots, but whatever. Yeah, Jesus, dude. He hits like a semi on top of an airplane right now. Yeah, lineman up. There's nothing left of that guy. Like, dude, I'm just an old man on the road. Let me be. Like, no, you're still a leader. You gotta go. You gots to go. Man, it smells nuts in here right now. It's like this ridiculous confluence of events that happened earlier today. So yeah, there was a thing where, you know, we use vinegar for cleaning and all that kind of thing. And so, you know, I try to put it out of reach. I swear to God, this little tiny kitten here just always manages to get my kid to go and get stuff that she shouldn't be able to, like for any reason whatsoever. So there's this bottle of vinegar, right, next to a bottle of water. You know, the one's used for going and moistening up a lizard. That isn't a euphemism for anything. It's literally just used for moistening a lizard. And the other one's used for cleaning her cage and all that. And you know, the bottles right next to each other, no real issue. So she gets a hold of the water bottle sometimes, the cat goes and knocks him down. Now this cat went and knocks over this vinegar bottle. I'm over here feeding a baby. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this to the ground. Haha, so funny, look at that, it's not up here anymore. Little kiddo runs up, she's like, she immediately knows. Like, this is what she's wanted, this is exactly her target for the day. It's like, yes, finally, I got the friggin' funny-smelling bottle, and she's like running around spraying vinegar everywhere. So it smells both clean and nostril-destroying in here right now. So, you know, there's that. Okay, so Mr. TK is going down here. I'm probably going to have all three of these guys bum rush down there at some point. Rick, what is your situation right now? Let's see, 13? Yeah, it's weird that he's under-leveled. Or at least normal leveled, because he seriously is just hitting like an absolute truck. Okay, Nancy... Yeah, might as well. I think we're going to send in Nancy and Troy's teams. I have to say with Troy, I'm probably going to want to give him a proper team rather than the grunts. Like, maybe I'll just give him a team of well-protected grunts in the very center. Actually, I might do that to all the teams. Just, like, switch them to a thing where they have maybe an attacking fairy, a defending fairy, a gremlin, a grunt squad, and then their leader. Because yeah, these full-on grunt squads are not really holding up. Yeah, they're doing pretty much nothing at this point. Okay, whatever. You just keep trying until you eventually win, I guess. Just go for the weakest. And they can't even hit for crying out loud. Ugh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, what is problem? I mean, I guess they can't really take damage either, but still. Good, finally gone. Vapors. Ooh, and she got a level. Good. Oh, this occasionally makes me think of, what is that? I think it was ASDF movie. It was just like, this guy runs up and punches another guy, gets a little level up message. I suppose it works that way sometimes. Actually, realistically, it kind of does work that way sometimes. Like, somebody punches somebody, like, I understand how punching works. I have unlocked the violence! So yeah, I will say, so I've been mentioning a few times recently, been going through FO4 again. Like, granted, like 20 minutes at a time, because time is at a little bit of a premium some days. But yeah, no. It's kind of a funny thing. I guess the first time through that, or the first couple times through it, I just never really realized how busted some of the systems were, because I just kind of kept trying to play it like New Vegas, and it's just not the way you're supposed to play it at all. Namely, it's an RPG that you're not supposed to RPG at all. You're supposed to completely metagame that thing from the very start in order to have fun. And yeah, I don't know. Like, when you actually do that, it's pretty hilarious how busted everything is very quickly. Like, let's see, what was it? I think it was like Better Criticals, Critical Banker, and anything to do with rifles is just basically an insta-kill on anything so far. To the point where they're like, oh yeah, it's 2% friggin' chance to hit. And like, oh, I'm sorry, I banked these 2 criticals, and then you just take 2 shots, and like, oh, boss is friggin' vaporized. Time to go punch a cockroach a whole bunch to, ooh. Dude, that's the thingy! I need that thingy. That's what I need to make Dark Knights, I think. Or Terror Knights, or whatever they're called in this. Got a Satin's Blover, which kind of sounds like a weird type of undies, like for really, really goth people. But whatever. Alright, you guys go deal with that, and then after you're done, you're gonna head down south, you can defend this town. All 3 of those guys are gonna pile on that southern town, and then everyone's gonna take the castle, and it's gonna be a good day for everyone. Okay, go for weakest. Yeah, they're gonna get a little bit of plank off, I guess. Yeah, it's not safe for them to continue. I'm gonna let Rick handle that. First off, how tired are they? Extraordinarily tired. Okay, Nancy. You head back to town. Good. Troy, why don't you go ahead and head out this way? Meantime, why don't we have maybe Buttscott to deal with this guy? Leaves us a little bit undefended, but that's perfectly fine. I'll go take that town down there at some points. I'd even just send Amanda to do that. Actually, I almost want to send Nancy down there to do that. Wait, Rick? Really? Like, I'm just gonna sit here and stare at them while they sleep. Freaking weirdo. Alright, there we go. Good to go, good to go. And they're birdies, so he should be all well and good against the Pidgeys. Yeah, it's a weekend. I'm assuming nobody's gonna show up to this one, but oh well. You know, it's gonna be available later for folks to look back at. I even want to do that afternoon one later. Might be able to just get some extra work time in. Maybe I'll just do that. Save what I was planning for, I don't know, sometime next week. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. Holy crap. Hitting like a truck. It's the butts. It's the butts truck. Full of butts and metal. I'm gonna think of it. There was something that Vale was wanting to see from one of these. They wanted to add it to the artwork, like, I think it was like a wall or something. Like a flying wall? Maybe? I don't know, I completely don't remember. So before I forget, Mr. Vale, since I'm assuming you're like the only one that watches these, would yeah, would you be able to remind me what it was that you wanted on there? By the way, not actually the only one that watches these. It apparently occasionally goes up to like 11 people, but whatever. Whatever, you know. Jokes are jokes. Okay. Rick has reached his destination. Turn left at ninjas. Actually, it's more like turn right in that case. Oh! Look at this ballsy guy over here. He's gonna go try to take on Steve. Like, yep, I got it. I totally got this one. Go take on the strongest squad. You know what? It's basically just taking the prison rule there. Like, you're supposed to always go up and punch the strongest person or something like that. He's basically applying that terminal or that logic over to this situation. So, yep, I'm gonna go punch the biggest unit they've got. I'm gonna go fight Steve. This is a great plan with no possible downsides. Other than getting completely vaporized. We're gonna ignore that. Yeah, you know what? Having those two buffer fairies in the very front, excellent. Absolutely excellent. Because, like, worst case scenario, they end up buffing the front one, end up getting a little bit of extra dodge. Best case scenario, they end up buffing Butts, who's been... Jeez. He's been ridiculous. I'm trying to think what game did this. There was some game that did something similar to this, where you could see, like, with this one, they had a kind of idea of, like, you know, we can kind of let some of the fights play out in real time. You know, they'll go and attack each other at the same time. There was something like this, where they actually did all of their attacks at the same time, and I can't remember exactly what it was. Like, it wasn't exactly like OV64, I should say, but it did have these squad fights. What was it? That's gonna bug me. Though, I was just thinking, like, how awesome would this be if they basically took the people that did... was it Company of Heroes? I think it was Company of Heroes. If they basically took that, and then just, like, applied everything from this onto that kind of, you know, formula and engine and all that, how awesome would that be? You know? Like, where you have everything going on in real time and everything, you have all your squads getting all your different upgrades all over the map and everything. Although, presumably, you make it a, you know, a one-shot kind of situation. Where, like, all over the map there will just be some selection of, like, 20 to 30 whatever random items from the series, and you can assign them to one squad or something. And it's only the leader that gets them. I mean, like, it seriously could be, if somebody took this whole formula and just applied it to Company of Heroes, it could work. It could work really well, too. Oh, look, it's adorable. They think they're damaged. They're getting out damaged by a frickin' gremlin at this point. That's how over-leveled the squad is. But yeah, we might be able to make a TK out of somebody. If they're not actually called TKs. I think they are called Dark Knights in this one. A DK, we're gonna make a Donkey Kong out of one of them. Whatever. You just go take that town. Troy, you do whatever. Mr. Rick, you eliminate, please. Mr. Troy, you also attempt to eliminate, please. And there we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna let Steve sit there. Because we probably don't want to be taking towns with him. Alright, Mr. Birdie, what you gonna do? Actually, how tired is Butts? Pretty tired. On the plus side, it sounds like, I've covered Himeko's story a few times. It sounds like there may be a bunch of really cool stuff coming for that pretty soon. So yeah, there's a bunch more options that seem like they're coming out for it. So I'm pretty darn optimistic. So as far as a spiritual successor to OB64, you know, that might be the closest we're getting for a while. Like, it seems to be trying to apply a very similar formula. Actually, it does also kind of... I think that also kind of does the whole thing of everybody attacking at the same time pretty well. Because it's a situation where they still take turns and whatever else, but a lot of the fights do automate pretty quickly. And that's usually because you have squads of up to 10 fighting each other. Okay. Oh, so apparently that Fatal Dance thing that I was afraid of, apparently it's just their one attack that they get in the back. For anybody that's, you know, not looking at these in real time, and potentially looks at them later, or something like that. Okay. I think everybody with a brain has retreated at this point, so we'll go ahead and send you about here. We'll send Butts to go deal with these guys. Actually, no, he's gonna stay and take this town. Probably gonna send Nancy out. Yeah, I'm probably gonna send Nancy out to support that town up there. Just because that out-of-the-way town, I'm pretty sure the AI is too far away to really care about it anymore. But we'll find out. Powered up. Oh crap, she's dead. Or not. Now she's dead. There we go. Yeah, Butts' team taking a little bit of a beating here. Oh wow, they actually lost that one. Well, yeah, it's because that one fairy ended up taking all the punishment for everybody, and they ended up getting some overkill damage on her. But that's fine. They can be revived. Apparently, they can't be zombified, so there's that. Now, wow, they've got a lot of units. No, they've only got some units on there. The boats captured that place. Now, tell me that's the one that has a. Yes, okay. We can't afford it, now that I think about it. I mean, we do, but we're too broke, so... It is broke. Sorry. Then again, maybe she thinks everybody's alive and well because she doesn't know about the two that are sitting in boxes in the background. Who knows? Anyway, go ahead and enter the stronghold. Tell me what's going on over here. 2 mercenaries already sent one you guys, but they were destroyed by monsters. Okay then. That's... okay. That's not ideal. Yeah, it looks like they're all just gonna try to pile into the castle at this point. That's fine. They took a wrong turn. They just needed to cross the bridge, but they're like, no, the bridge is too complicated. We can't possibly pathfind through that. And then this happened. And then they got lightninged a bunch. Dang, Rick, why are you so good? And he improved. How about that? Seriously, how is he underleveled? Because he's not even a promoted class or anything. Like, I know for a fact that I've kind of screwed up the fact that that there's certain items that I should have in order to be able to promote him, because I'm pretty sure he has to be promotable at this point. I mean, we're a good ways into the game. This does feel like well beyond the point where you can potentially get some advanced classes going. Oh well. Oh, look at that. They're still trying. The one little birdie there, like, I got this, I got this. And you know, I never realized how when it came to, what's it, the PSP remake of Let Us Cling Together, I never really realized what the whole shtick was with Kanopa switching to an axe. Like, somehow it never occurred to me that in all the other games they're always using a hammer or an axe. I don't know why it seems so weird to me. Because I saw the SNES one use a spear. As far as I'm aware in the series, that's the only time birds actually go and use spears. You know, practicality aside. Right. Rick's gonna go for that one. They somehow backed into him. He doesn't have a target that he's going for right now. Hopefully this will be fine. These guys hurt a bunch, but it's fine. Ah, jeez. Okay, never mind. There's that gremlin gone. Man, freaking Fatal Lances, though, really. They definitely live up to their name. I think we're gonna have to spend all of the budget from this fight just reviving dudes. Which I guess is fine. We're gonna have to let Steve carry a little bit more weight next time. I mean, leaders are getting promoted. Really, that's what we need. We need leaders that can do AoE abilities. That's the best way to make this happen. I'm gonna feel like a complete idiot if in one of these there's just a random crit on Rick or somebody and he gets zombified. I'm actually not sure if what the odds are per fight. I think somebody told me, like, I think they said it's like 20% chance that they perma-die. Oh, hello there, Rix. You know, SNES, spears in the favored weapon of the class, it's a hammer. Yeah, why does he use a spear in that one? Because he uses a, I'm pretty sure he uses a hammer in March of the Black Queen. And I don't know how it took so long for me to realize that the only reason that there's 5 of them in that team is because you have 5-man teams in March of the Black Queen. Like, was playing both of them side by side, and that's what it took. I'm like, oh, that's why there's that team. That's why there's that many of them. They sent exactly one squad out, and they even go in and they're going in their formation and everything. uh, that was way more of a revelation than it should have been when I first saw it. All right, yeah, let's just get you across this bridge. I think let's get Troy. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and break camp? Let's have you defend this town. Go. Pretty short distance. Rick, you're pretty much toast here. I know you're gonna have to take a little bit of a break, but let's get you over here. Do we want Nancy coming down? Yeah, I feel like we're not getting attacked from the north anytime soon. Let's go ahead and make that happen. Alright, let's get you up here. Let's get... I'm gonna wait a minute on sending butts forward. Let's have you go ahead and go after this one. Perfect. And that guy's gonna go chase after Rick. You guys are set to target weakest, right? Yeah. Okay. Do it! Do the weakness. Yeah, I think I'm actually starting to see what they were talking about at the Discord here. Because yeah, these gremlins are really starting to actually get some decent damage going. It's definitely the fairies that are still holding everything back, but that's why that rule was put in place here, so... At no point can I have more gremlins than fairies unless it's Rick's team. Is it very specific? Screw it. It is, but, you know, the guy's really antisocial. Nobody else wants to deal with him, and he has to turn evil. Oh, crap. Well, she did. We're gonna be spending a pretty penny to get dudes back after this. Holy hell. I'm actually almost completely ready to just retire Aznabel, because he just... Oh, I just can't believe how awful he is. I'm sure he's got stuff going for him, like a cool nickname for one, but man, what the actual crap? He's not held up at all so far. I mean, okay, he was able to hold up pretty well for one fight because he had a unique weapon on him and he was doing pretty okay with it. And aside from that, just absolutely nothing. Okay, let's go ahead and go weakest here, see if maybe they can potentially break through this line here finally. Ay. Yeah, he's just sitting here tanking like nothing. I think they're still going to technically win this. Or, no, they won't. Not after all those thunder arrows. He couldn't carry quite that hard. But it's going to take Steve's team to beat these guys. You know, immediately after this, I have to say, one run that I really want to give an attempt to is, I really want to... Ah, crap. I really want to be able to try just a regular Iron Man run of this whole thing with no, like, no revives or anything else. I'm just kind of curious to see more of those mechanics in play and see about how, I don't know, like maybe you could make a bunch more use of the promotion mechanic and stuff like that. It would be interesting to see. Come on. Come on, Butts, you iron bastard. You know what, that's his nickname. He's just the Iron... He's the Iron Throne. He's Butts, the Iron Throne. Is he stupid little prick named Rick? Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, Rick's trying. He's trying. The dude, just nobody likes him. That's the thing. He's so antisocial that even skeletons won't listen to him. It's kind of the lore on that guy so far. Alright, I need you murdering this birdie, please. Because apparently that is a thing that I should be doing. Alright, that guy seems to be going for that town. Butts is in pretty rough shape right now. But I think I need to have everybody focusing on this guy. There we go. Hope your chaos frame is high enough? Wait, high enough for what? Pretty sure our chaos frame sucks. I mean... We've been avoiding neutral towns. I know that's a good thing. Um, but I know that apparently it's a negative Chaos Frame thing to have your leader be all crazy high level and everything, and he's currently like almost 10 levels above everybody else. Which is a little depressing when he's only slightly doing more damage than everyone else. But, you know. You get Ladle, of course. We don't need a Ladle. This isn't a Ladle-only run. Speaking of, if you ever want to be bored out of your mind, go watch, there's a Ladle-only run of Dark Souls 2 that a guy did. It's literally just using a second one! Man, they just have these all over the place, dang. But yeah, it's literally just friggin', what is it, like 16 straight hours of somebody beating every single boss repeatedly with a spoon. It's pretty great, actually. Oh wow, actually, no wait, you guys are about to straight up die. No, actually, Butts, please run. Please run. Please run. Okay. Yeah, no, goodbye. I didn't realize just how jacked up his squad was. Hello there, Mr. Cowman. What Smash Bros. Mode is this? You know what? Now that you mention it, this is probably the only series they haven't included in the latest Smash now. Since I found out yesterday they even had Persona in that thing now. So that's interesting. They've got everything at this point. Okay, Troy's broken camp, Troy has defended that town. So we've got 3 guys, and now we're going to have Rick going in there as well. I know that they're probably going to take pretty non-favorable fights here. I should probably be sending Rick in for this, but I figure all of them might be able to finally pull this off. Okay, just attack weakest until they can take that one guy out in the back. Come on, take him out. You guys serious right now? Are you serious right now? Just end that one guy, thank you. Okay, go for the leader. Or something, anything, really. I mean, it's something. They didn't win, but they didn't lose that badly. At least they finally did some lasting damage to that team. I mean, so far everybody's fought this one Terra Knight group and just no luck. Or Dark Knight, or Evil Metal Man. See, Fairy Mode, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yep, totally easy, winning every fight forever, all the time. Yeah, no problems whatsoever. This is actually still going way better than I expected. I mean, right now, just the amount of available tricks seems pretty alright. Seems pretty winnable. I have to say there have been a lot of rough moments, like starting up on this particular map, where Steve kind of had to fight about 15 guys at once, but we're going to ignore that part. Let's see. Yeah, everybody and their parakeet were playing that yesterday. What? Okay. Those are words. And, I understand them? I'm gonna go with maybe. Oh, there's one guy. There's one guy with his 2 health. There's one guy. But yeah, all they can really do is throw angry glances towards that Terra Knight guy. Or 6 health, sorry, not 2 health. And one other one survived on that much. Alright. Yeah, even kills are giving them 2 experience at this point. That's nifty. And Valiant Mantle. Yeah, we're getting a bunch of those. Like, I know for getting the not quite Terra Knights, but they're Terra Knights, but what the hell are they again? Mr. Vaudeville. What are you? Black Knight. There we go. They're not a Dark Knight, they're not a Terra Knight, they're a Black Knight. Anyway. So what I'm trying to say here, and actually it looks like this guy might potentially be going back, so what you're going to do is you're going to go block this bridge. One way or another, this guy is getting friggin' terminated here. Let's see. I'd probably play a Simon or Richter if they had it. Kind of think that I know that they threw in. No, they did throw in Castlevania. I know that's in there. I don't know which one, which Belmont it was, but I know they did throw that in there. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that there's no. Like, given everything else that they have in there, I'm surprised that there isn't at least some mention of this series. Because I want to say. What was it? Was it Melee that had referenced OB60? Or not OB64, but it had some reference to Tactics Ogre, I thought. Or at least March of the Black Queen or something. I could have sworn it did. But I know people were begging to see characters from Golden Sun in there for forever. They're like, okay, here's an assist that'll show up every now and then. And I don't know if they actually ever ended up adding them as characters. Because this is already after another sequel to those games, so maybe. I mean, they've only got like 6 Pokerman's characters in there. Don't need 50 billion of them. It's like, oh, we added a new roster of all 700 Pokermans with all their moves. Or what is it up to, like, I think it's actually up to like 850 now. So even that's not an accurate number. Which is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, seriously, between versions, so my wife and I got Sun and Moon, and then we ended up getting the new ones because they were on sale, and there was this whole thing with a local store where it's like, you basically get the new ones for about $10 each on release day. It's like, dude, holy crap, that's pretty good, actually. So we did that, what's now over a year ago, and yeah, sure enough, they're like, we're looking through the list, and they're like, oh, it's like 850 plus now! We added even more because there's all these other variants now. Dude, seriously? Yeah, they got Monster Hunter in there. They have, as of yesterday, I think they announced it. They have Persona in there. They've got, I know they did Castlevania there. They got Xenogears in there, which they did for a while, to be fair. Why am I still having her fight this group? That's a question. Whatever, just finish off that one guy. Come on, please, you got this. There we go, you did it! Get your experiences. What's funny is they can actually win that fight. And I might just let that happen. Screw it, whoever wins it, wins it. No, you know what? You know who I want to win it? Troy. Because he wants levels. Nancy, and Rick. I need you heading back to town. Nancy, you definitely got your levels. You go ahead and you head back to town as well. And Barbara, yeah. You go ahead and head over to probably this town over here. Just in case. I don't see them pulling anything off here, but just in case. And then Troy, I've got no doubt will be able to handle this, especially if they're sleeping. There we go. Yeah, even if it's 20 damage at a time, he's definitely got the bulk to be able to take this on. I'm definitely liking how sturdy he is, but it's his damage is really subpar. But yeah, there's that. What does Matsuno have against spears? Actually, you know what's funny? Despite the fact that I know he didn't technically take part in this one, so we're going to go ahead and ignore that. Since apparently he wasn't a big fan of this one, and he apparently wasn't a big fan of KOL, which I don't even know how to really piece that together, because those are my 2 favorites. Well, that is to say, currently the order is like, it's OV way at the top, then it's currently like a tie between KOL and OB64, and then probably under that is the SNES version. Actually, no, I think before that is... Yeah, no, the SNES version, and then immediately under that is March of the Black Queen, and then... Because I really liked all of those. And then, like, down at the very bottom is still probably the... very bottom is still the Lucked US release, despite the fact that I've probably played that more than any of the others combined. But oh well. Such is life. Such is life. Alright, eventually. You got this eventually. It'll only take you 40 more turns. There we go. Level up. Let's go ahead and shank that guy a whole bit. Why is it that they use giant pickaxes in this one? Why did that not come back in the remake? That would have been pretty freaking awesome. Actually, no wait, that is in the remake, isn't it? It's I think it comes back as a cudgel of all things. There's like a giant pickaxe looking situation. Alright, even after all that, Troy refuses to level up. The guy just does not level. He's been so busy with moving and being tired, haven't played anything in a while, missing the whole Winter Festival. Well, that's a bummer. Has your move at least been relatively successful? And so far so good over there? You guys holding up alright? Barbara, I'm gonna need you... Actually, wait, let's take a look at this town real quick. My morale is kind of mediocre. Barbara, what is your situation? Are you neutral? Hell yeah, you're neutral. Get your neutral butt down over there. So I think she's relatively fast. Valkyries are usually pretty fast movers in most of these games. Alright, I'm gonna have him run up and just stare angrily at this castle. Actually, wait. Are you taking any injuries? No, those guys weren't even able to scratch him. Okay. I think his Butts, Mr. Butts, you go over here. Alright. Then hopefully we'll find some random items, maybe run some random units. In fact, Rick and Nancy, tell you what. You go ahead and follow some roads along. You just... Frickin' excuse me? What hole did you crawl out of? That's not good. Yeah, go for leader, please. I mean, it looks like they're going to be able to take the squad, but what the hell? If they've decided to attack up north, that would have been it. I've basically got cleric squads on each of these. Okay, what are they going to do? It's kind of looking like they're going to attack. No, they're just headed towards the road for now. Mr. Butts, I need you defending HQ. Friggin' pronto. March. Yeah, they are going this way. Yeah, no, her team's pretty beat up, too. Okay, I don't know what the hell Barbara's thinking. See, there's been a few zombie incursions here and there. But the walls have held, plus central air and heating actually works. You've been living in the desert without cooling this whole time? Let's see, Lidl Klein. Still survived at the Central Division. Okay. Why is revenge yours? Hell, lady, that wasn't... Well, I mean, the guy did sacrifice his whole family. There's that. He attacked us too, just saying. I'll believe you if we can beat you. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. Especially with Steve in there. Now, Barbara, I didn't intend for you to be here at all. So, please don't die. Yeah. Almost dead. They did 0 damage in that fight. Yeah. Okay. You can retreat with the base unit and replenish your soldier squads. Oh, right. Right. Somebody did tell me you could do that. So how... Change leader formation. Is there... something... They'd select them or something? Or is it when they're over the base I'm allowed to do stuff to them? So let's see, they're still... Wait. No more soldiers can be added? What? I mean, they're on the base. Am I doing something wrong? Just move onto the base? I am on the base. Why do you think you kept melting into a Holstein-colored puddle? I don't know, I just assumed you were kind of like that one character from that one Nick show I can't remember that for some reason turned to a ball of goop. Maybe that's just what you were into, I don't know. Do I have to enter Stronghold? Let me explain our tactics again. We're already tacticsing, we're fine. We got this. Also, this map is completely wrong. You need to update it. You need to step on it and you'll be asked to retreat. But so far I've been stepping people on our base pretty much this entire run. And it hasn't ever given me that option. But I was wondering if that's what it was in the first place, because that's how it worked in March of the Black Queen. But Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't friggin' know. So what does the shop have? So we got ooh. Oh, Riri. That looks like the option to get paladins. Because I'm seeing this. This seems like exactly what they wear. This seems like what they need. I'm assuming they use one of these and then this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That has to be the paladin set. If I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that I'm pretty accurate on that one. Okay, let's max out on healing leaves, because they seem pretty darn efficient. And Steve. Tell you what. Murder. Watch it go into 3 rounds, and then we can use that sweet fireball move. If there's a button for it in the move menu, that I did not know. I will go ahead and give that a little bit of a try in just a moment here. Ooh, that's a sweet leader you had there. Atmosphere? Dang. Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have frickin' fireballs? Yes. Yes. Man, I love that so much. You're gonna join us now. So you win, alright, I believe you. Some advice. The army's recent deeds aren't garnering them any sports. Okay, that's what we're trying to do here. Can you join us now? No? Okay. Bow of Sandstorm. Fancy. And we got a bunch of dudes, and we got a bunch of cash. Cash is good. Now, are you guys going to use your sweet wrestling moves to not be against us? Okay. On the strings, they tend to do that all the time. Chaos frame too low? Well, crap. Oh. Oh, crap, that sounds like a way to do it. There we go, so... Right, I don't know what that means. Like, does that mean that we have to attack, or we can attack it from a different direction now? Is that... Also, hang on, I gotta check on Mosquito real quick, so be right back. Alrighty, all back, all good. Probably gonna have to take a little bit of a lunch break in an eventual soonish, but okay, first of all. Organized screen. Do we still have an Aznabel who is not a zombie? Yes, we do. And Nancy, you are getting a fairy. For kind of holding up pretty well in that last fight. Everybody else is gonna need a few repairs. Out of curiosity. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that full paladin set, because I have a feeling, or I think it's a paladin set anyway, because I have a feeling if I do that, then I might be able to make Butts into one, which might make him even more awesome. But then again, I don't know if I have the required stats and whatever else, but it feels like a pretty solid investment. But anyway. So. Get to carry items and all that in just a moment. And character. We need... Actually, your squad can probably go ahead and take this one. There we go, and then we're going to throw one of these back here. These kind of trainees. That should do that pretty alright. Okay. Let's get you disbanded. So we can go get them revived. So there we go. Let's add Aznabel's corpse to somebody's team. I just like to think they just drop it all unceremoniously. Alright, where can we add Gunther here? You know what, Katrina, you're gonna need to get rid of one of your squads here. Let's go ahead and get rid of this one. And we'll give her one of those fairies. So we'll give her that dead fairy. Yeah, we'll say this UI definitely would have been a lot better with a mouse and keyboard kind of setup. And yeah, that's not where I ultimately want that fairy to sit, but it'll do for now. Do you need more Tiberium? Gotta have those tanks? Exactly. Exactly. I mean, if you don't have those, what are you even doing? Although you could just go with like a crap ton of Grenadiers, that'll do the job pretty well too. That was always my favorite way of doing it. Let's get you over here. Who else? Let's show up to our doorstep with a big old wagon of dead bodies. That's a good way to make these people like us. Like, here we go, here's everybody that died trying to help you. Yep, just bring them over to the witch hut, she'll go ahead and pour some healing soup on everybody, and we'll be good to go. Good as new. Kind of a shame, or it's kind of a wonder anybody has any kind of worry about war in this universe. And, you know, they can just basically be healed up out of straight-up death with no real issues. I mean, they might eventually zombify if they wait too long, but still, you know, overall punishment relatively minor, I'd say. That unless somebody is completely surrounded, they're functionally going to be immortal. Like, there's really no reason for anyone... You'd think this would be the friendliest universe ever. Because this is literally a case where, as long as somebody has friends, and like $500, they will always be able to revive somebody from death. It's interesting. It's very interesting. For that matter, it's kind of a wonder that they don't have entire... like big old facilities and colleges for the witches to do their thing in. It's like, who needs to die? You know, everybody can live forever. We have the secret to immortality over here. See, construction complete, new construction options, ion cannon. Man. CNC is freaking awesome, though. Though I saw my my cousin playing the mobile game not a long time ago. Why on earth did they make it into a mobile game? It's like, it's a weird shadow of its former self. It's one of these things where technically it's all in there, but it's like if you have... It's kind of like if you had CNC, but then you had like 20 tiles for units to actually be in, and there was just like... You could build a couple buildings, and like 10 guys, and that's... It's... What is that? What exactly is your plan here? At that point, it's not CNC anymore, is it? It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Especially when they tried to sell it as like, this is the new evolution of everything forever. Like, you broke it though. Where's the actual game that was here before? I mean, literally what it broke down to every time that I saw him play a match was just like one person left one side open and somebody snuck a guy over and then they shot at their base a bunch and that was it. There was very little actual strategy going on. It was just either who could pump out units slightly faster than the other or who could sneak one guy around the side. There was no big encirclement thing, there was no real strategy or countering or anything else going on. Like hell, I remember even on the PS1 version, which admittedly was one of the suckier versions, but it still played pretty darn well. There was still a lot that you could do. Okay. Yes, everybody's there, I get it. Am I even gonna have enough money to revive everybody here? Jeez. I mean, worst case scenario, we'll forego training for one round and then just let Steve carry for a little bit. I mean, it'll probably drop our frame down and everything. So, the newest CNC I played was Red Alert 2 and Tiberium, and a little real-world setting on that one. I really liked, did you ever at least take a look at Red Alert 3? Like, I didn't play that much of it. I got to play it at somebody else's house once. But dude, they had, like, friggin' laser dolphins. It was pretty awesome. It definitely wasn't super amazing, but it was still really, really cool. Like, you could tell, it was at least inspired, if not terribly great. At least it looked nice. Like, I mean, it's the closest thing I've seen to a modern version of Empire's Dawn of the Modern World, which really needs to happen. Like, if you've never played that one, it's basically take a lot of the stuff that Age of Empires did, except make it to where almost every upgrade is like a one-shot thing. Like, for example, you know, you build an armory and you get upgrades for your different units. It's like, okay, you get a range upgrade. It's not a universal range upgrade. You can pick one unit type, and that's the only upgrade they get. So, for example, you'd have stuff like somebody would go play as the friggin' Germans or some crap and get super cheap Tiger tanks or something, or you'd get somebody that played as the British and the HP on their tanks was ridiculous. And then you would go and you would add, I kid you not, calisthenics to your tank. And you'd basically just have a friggin' tank with, like, I think it was, what was it? I think it was like half the attack power of anything else, but almost 3 times the amount of health. So it got to the point where literally just like one guy could sit there and tank for ages while you pulled off whatever you wanted to pull off. Like, my favorite thing was, during online games, was playing as the British in that one, because they built all of their buildings would just build themselves. So you just need one villager running around. They just, you know, put up all these buildings. They were slower, but they just went up on their own. They just put down blueprints, and it's just like, yep, your entire wall just grew out of the ground. Don't question it. And so, so anyway, you know, doing this whole thing, and yeah, like, would just go immediately build an armory, build just basically get this health upgrade for those tanks, and then get a like a cheapness, or I think it was like either an attack or a cheapness upgrade that I would get for their, they had like a special tank, which was just an amphibious one, and you could set it to always use all their special abilities at the same time. There was nothing that those things couldn't one-shot. Like, they were terrible. They just had this single ability that, if combined, would potentially just one-shot even the heaviest units in the game. So it would just stick a bunch of these beefy tanks and a bunch of these special tanks and just, like, run them over into a place. Have them one-shot everything that they've got a shot for, and then just completely run away at that point. It was so good. That game was so much fun. It wasn't balanced worth a crap, because, I mean, hell, like, if you ended up looking at, like, the Soviet units and stuff like that, their individual soldier guys, they could be produced, they were basically berserk, for all intents and purposes. They were to the point where their individual soldier guys had worse stats than their villagers. They really, really sucked, but you could literally make one every second. That was actually just one of the upgrades that they ended up getting. It was just, you make one per second. Like, okay. This seems ridiculous, but okay. Let's see, let's get 2 of those. He's gonna get a heal pack, and then let's spend the rest on healing leaves, I think. Just because, you know, Okay, so now we're completely broke, but everybody's back to life. But hopefully we're gonna have a little bit of breathing here. So, tell me then. Soldiers, buy equipment. On buying that, do we have access to paladins? Yes! We totally do! Oh man, we didn't even need those fancy shields. Okay. Okay! Oh man, I think Butts can be a paladin. Okay. Mr. Butts, I'm sorry, I must fire you in order to hire you even better. This is the only thing that I'd have to say I'm not a huge fan of. That you have to actually fire your leader in order to promote them. But I will. You serious right now? Okay, fine. Fine. Go sell something, since apparently him already having that shield. What can we sell for this? Mirror of the Soul, what does this do? Life, I know what that... Mirror of the Soul, that's the thing that makes... I think that makes them more lawful, doesn't it? Or it changes their element? Paliscos are better than Paladins? I thought Paladins were like the big thing in this one. And I mean, if Knights are good and Paladins are better, then hell yeah, I'm getting some of those. I can sell one of these, despite the fact that I just bought it. I mean, it's kind of stupid because I'm gonna immediately end up improving his weapon anyway. Yep, the Belova. Do you even have anyone that uses a bow at this point? Okay, what do we want to sell? Gotta sell something. I'm probably just gonna sell the Belova, to be totally honest. Like, as rare as that thing apparently is, it's just... I feel like everything else might be more worthwhile. Or this mirror thing, because I don't plan to change anyone's element. Cup of Life. No, that one's gonna be necessary for Steve. 2 quick gates. Okay, I only need 1 as an emergency, so whatever. Is it ideal? No. But either way. Change class. I know I could have just gone and gotten that shield from somebody else. It's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Yes. Yes! Dude, you got even shinier. Alright. Yeah, why is it the changing back to a knight? It's still perfectly fine. Okay. Okay. Character commands. Equip item. They're already using that. Go ahead and use this. It's fine. Yeah, okay. So there we go. He's all good and shiny now. Oh, what do I want to do here? Form a unit. Just a dude man. Get you a team. Ooh, 3 attacks from the front now. So he's even stronger than he was before. What did his team look like? This. I know he had at least 1 gremlin in there. I want to say he had... Didn't he have 2 gremlins? Yeah, I want to say he had 2 gremlins, didn't he? No, he did have 1 gremlin, actually. Okay, formation. Okay. So I know he was over here. So I know gremlin was in the corner. We had 1 over here. I think he had 2 support fairies. I want to say he had 2 support fairies. Like, I think it was something like this. Just that way he can potentially get more buffs going. What happened to Celtic? What do you mean? I know he was kind of having a bit of a weird situation earlier. apparently he was extremely into all the memes and all that, and for some reason got into a fight with Royal. I don't know. I don't know what it is about AC that always seems to bring out the worst in people. Like, as far as I could tell, it was just like he was spamming a bunch of stuff all over the place, which apparently when that option was taken away, he got really pissed off or something. Without any further context, that's basically what I know about the situation. Okay, there we go. What else is units? You are going to need to change your situation, because these little grunts, they're not really quite cutting it anymore. Dang it, give me the option to remove characters. There we go. Everyone's going to have, like, 3 guys that are just sitting in the middle. And the rest is going to hopefully be something else. But yeah, I hope he didn't end up leaving or getting kicked out or something, did he? Because it was a pretty stupid fight that ended up occurring. Okay, and then we'll have one more attempt for Aznabel to be awesome. First off, formation. Let's go over here and probably resort these guys a little bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and do one of those. Something like that. See, I've been on in a couple days. Last time I was there to get rid of some... I had to get rid of some inappropriate pictures. Yeah, I don't... Was that Celtic that did that? I know dude's been just acting weird lately. I don't know, this always seems to happen. Like, it's just always an AC thing for some reason. It's just like out of nowhere, like, oh, somebody's gone off the deep end for some reason. Just kind of occurs. Why? Who knows? But anyway. Yeah, no. In that case, it was more just, for some reason, getting really, really carried away with Roblox memes or something like that. Now, let's go ahead and save it real quick, double save it. And let's go from the this dealie over here, because we don't have any money to train, right? Yeah, we've got 10 bucks. So that's not gonna happen. Gonna have to be super careful for this one. It's interesting to see that this entire campaign might actually end up getting starved out just due to finances. Like, I love that as an idea more than I can possibly say. See, Celtic and Gaul, I mentioned both. Message both, asking them to tone it down. Yeah. Like, Voctor, I understand. I mean, that's just his thing, that's just what he does. But, yeah, I don't know what the hell happened with Celtic, because he's acting differently than he did before. So I don't know. Alright, presumably we got a messenger. Succeeded. Sweet. Detachment that was sent to Ogre succeeded in liberating the mining facility. Nice. All knocking's up. Didn't expect things to turn out this well. Oh wow, so we didn't even have to fight, huh? Ah, sweet, so we don't have to fight them. Good. It's the status of the Washington Division. We took over the castle Ziegeveld, which sounds cool as hell. Immediately engaged in reinforcements. Number of casualties is unknown, probably all of them because Steve wasn't there. Should be here soon. Okay, so we're on a timer, that's good to know. They take the Oddvera mines. Oh, okay. Oh, this is a counter of the first map, nice. To march on the castle, day and a half north of mines. This seems very easy to defend. Yeah, I think we're just going to take that bottom area and let Steve beast his way up there. And then once everybody's decapitated, we'll send in everybody else. Go for a kind of cautious experience dumps on all them. And lead them to safety, the rest of us will stay. There we go, that's all proper heroic. After all this ridiculously long adventure, Steve's finally starting to become a heroic dude. It's like, okay, I guess some people get to survive. As opposed to his original mindset back in Night of Lotus that was just like basically stab everything. Alright. Now then. Steve, you are just going to go ahead and charge in like a mofo here. At least take that one. Presumably they will all just kind of flinko down here. And then just... If he can take this one, great. If he can take this one, even better. In fact, I'm going to send... Listen, Butts in as support. He's all fancy and strong now. Okay, let's go send Amanda and them over to defend these towns. Probably Amanda and Katrina as a good little minimum here. It doesn't look like they're sending out birds. Rick and probably Barbara are going to assist on the main northern attack here. Everybody else is going to be on defense. Okay, Leah, let's have you defending over here. Just watch the woods, as it were. And then let's send one more team out, probably Troy. No. Alright, Nancy, you're going to go up here to defend. Just because I'm assuming we might end up getting surprise attacked or something. But Troy's going to mostly sit down there. I want to hopefully get him raised up in training and or with 3 kills later. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, difficulty-wise, I'd expect, since we had the option to do this one sooner, I would definitely expect this one to be a bit easier. Since we basically took a side mission, that one was definitely harder, and then this one was here as the quote-unquote easy option. So hopefully, this will be a nice little catch-up moment to hopefully catch up on our funds a little bit, because we're a little bit broke. Okay. Mr. Guy, what is your situation? 13, yeah. So, should be good to go. What is this witch? 13 as well, okay. So we should be good to go. I mean, it's a pretty huge lump we're sending up there. I wouldn't expect them to have any real issues. We've got paladins though, that's a problem. Steve's up there like, man, it's time to go stab some dudes. Oh, how nice of you to put your leader right there. And he fell asleep. Awesome. Okay, fair enough. They're sleeping. I think they're still going to get a win off this, despite the fact that almost no one did any damage. It's fine, they're pushed back. Can't help but notice the witches in this actually using their staves that they end up using in the KOL remake. Or, not the KOL remake, that'd be amazing. No, in the Lucht remake. Yeah, we'll never see a KOL remake, it's depressing. The game was so good, or we're never going to see a remake. Like, arguably some of the best balance in the series. Then the guy was like, no, but I didn't do it, so I don't like it. And then immediately people were like, oh man, God himself said he doesn't like it. Oh well, oh well. Oh well, okay, so... went ahead and... wait. Captured stronghold of Crick? What was Crick? Are these neutral? I thought these were ours. Yeah, they're sending a bunch of fancy units out now. Love little flying donkeys. They're pretty awesome. Not to mention they put dudes to sleep. Very useful. And I need to move Steve up to the front for this one. Because his lighting abilities aren't exactly... oh wait, no, he's doing just fine. I was going to say it's causing a few issues here, but no, he's doing plenty of damage. Okay, there we go, that's one team decapitated. No problem whatsoever. He's holding up great. And this is what I meant by letting Steve beast through this. And yeah, if at any point Steve ends up needing to retreat at all, he's got the entire backing of the whole rest of the team, or rest of the powerhouses in the team to back him up, so should have no issues. Again, I figure if we end up saving, you know, preventing anyone from actually getting knocked out this time, we can at least use that money to train up any units that didn't end up getting trained. Figure maybe the backup guys can go kill off all these leaderless squads, but yeah, their butts got involved. See how good he does now. Here's the butts. Leader. Oh wow, he takes no damage. Holy crap, he's good. Oh, and he just got double buffed as well. So he's got 3 attacks, he's double buffed. Holy... dude. Dude! Wow, people were not kidding about that thing being OP. Jeez. Yeah, you know what? Everybody needs to become one of those somehow. I don't know how, but dude. He hits more than Steve. That is redonkulous. And I just want to point out, well, after this fight anyway, just want to point out he's like 8 levels under Steve, too. At least as of the last time I checked. Okay, good. These guys are very resistant, if nothing else. Or resilient, anyway. Also, hang on just a moment. I'm gonna have to pause it right after this. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so Steve does hit more in the front row. The only reason that I have him in the back row right now is simply because he's a little bit, like, okay, forget his stuff here, like, let's see, he's at 19, first of all. He does about 50 to 60, but the lightning so far has been just a little bit better about hitting stuff for some reason, and he's been taking less damage in the back row. So generally speaking, it's made his squad more survivable at the cost of a little bit of offense. Yeah, Butts' team, what's his status at this point? Yeah, 15. So he's caught up a little bit. He's actually taken a few underling units under his wing. And you know what, Leah, you go ahead and go over here. He's kind of got like a bit of a mage hunter type squad going on. Ooh, we got upgraded cleric. That is one dorky looking hat you got there, lady. I mean, like this right here, this would have been absolutely perfect in, well, in any of the Tactics Ogre games. Like, check it out. You know you want to aim for me, I even have a target on my head. Anyway, so we got some grapplers. I thought we convinced all the grapplers to leave, but apparently we didn't. Alright, Mr. Steve. Proceed to go ahead and rock this way. Mr. Butts, you go do about the same. Rick is probably going to handle cleanup duty at this point because he's probably got the best. He's got the best elemental damage by far. Barbara, yeah, let's have you get in on this too. So you're just defending for the hell of it. Nancy, nah, I want to leave at least one caster down there. You know, just in case they suddenly just show up and they're like, check it out, we brought out like 6 bird squads. And they're all here, and they're great, and what are you gonna do about it? And they found a mage robe. Alright, you go camp up in the mountains, because you's all tired. And before I forget, so I know you've got soldiers, so stronghold commands, move commands, retreat. Okay, good. So if, can I have Steve retreat there? Is that an option? I'm gonna have to try that next time. Ooh, they're going for the town. Okay. Rick, defend, please. Barbara, you are gonna go ahead and probably just go after this guy. He wants to let me... There we go. Ooh, hopefully they're not going for that town. That'd be a bit of a bummer. decapitation. Should have no problem. But yeah, the fact that Steve's able to go like hit in the back row and stuff like that definitely has been helping out so far. Just because all the back row units tend to do more damage and take more damage, so considering that they can actually be finished off in some reasonable manner, you know, take away a lot of their casters and all that kind of thing. Not to mention they started. The idea was more or less just to move Steve back and forth, just kind of depending on when he needed to fight at the time. That's why his entire row is empty and just dedicated to him. So there's that. Battle animation's still off. I wish there's just a chance to make it a little bit faster, just a slight bit faster. Hopefully we're not going to see a situation like we had before, namely where we have like one healer come in and completely stymie away all damage. But I think we've got enough variation at this point to keep that going. Alright. Oh, by the way, Mr. Cow, if you're still here, what I was talking about earlier, with the whole... I'm planning, well, I finally found one of the save files I was missing kind of situations. I was basically talking about one of the runs that you suggested from last year that I kinda sorta misplaced more than a little bit, that I kinda sorta also found, so was gonna go ahead and finish that one, because it was right at the very end anyway, I think. I felt like it was at the very end. I mean, that run went on for like, was it like 30 parts or something? And there were already 2 promises of the last boss that didn't quite pan out. Happen to have some pretty sweet music in it. I think you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's kind of hilarious that Barbara is the one that's scaring these guys off into the mountains. Alright. Witchington is heading down that way. I almost wanna let Steve run around handling all these fights and go take the towns with butts. Actually, I might want to just go take those towns with priest chicks. They're pretty underleveled at this point. They're all lawful and everything, and everybody likes them, I guess. Oh man, this little kiddo's hilarious. Hang on one sec. Okay, and back. Oh yeah, Mr. Cowman, the one that I was talking about, yeah, kinda sorta might have involved looking for a dog for like a week. Might have involved plenty of interplanetary travel to find said dog. When it turns out it was like 1 town away. Yeah, no, I figured there's literally... the only thing needed to upgrade this account here on the whole streamy type of dealing, which I guess it kind of sounds pretty scummy to say, but like, there's 2 left. It's bugging me so much that the status of the thing is, and it gets ends up getting promoted more once it gets to 50 apparently, and then it ends up getting promoted more once it gets higher. But I'm not even shooting for that. I just figured 50 is. I just want to see what happens. But it's been bugging me. It's been sitting at 48 for like 2 weeks. Like, dude, all these people kept coming in, and it stops just shy. Just like go up to 50, you dick. Anyway, let's go ahead and pause this here. Let's see. You are going to go ahead and hunt down this one, because you seem to do the mage hunter job pretty well. And let's send you over to this town. I have to say, yeah, they're just completely curb stomping these guys with no real problems right now. Yeah, Rick, you get onto elimination duty, and let's get probably Amanda here. Let's go ahead and get you defending this town. And yeah, I think we should be alright there. One of those two can run up and defend those towns up there, worst case scenario. You know, figure doing something a little bit different for the retro category there might throw those last two in there, you know? Maybe, just maybe. Probably won't happen on a Saturday, but it's, you know, what the hell. And I've done pretty much all I can otherwise today, so figure it's worth a shot. At least worth a shot. And they're still down there healing. By the way, it's about to get all chippy and choppy for a second. Just need to pull up my browser real quick. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. It's saying I missed a message, but I'm not seeing that message. Oh, never mind. That's a coupon. Great. Exactly what I wanted. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, they're just sitting there chowing down healing items. Like, we're fine, we got this. But yeah, no. Oh, kiddo, this is friggin' hilarious, like I was saying earlier. So, little guy loves spinning around, and he basically had this whole phase for a little bit where every time he would spin over, he would get terrified of his own spinning prowess. So he would go and, you know, he would roll over and he's like, oh my god, I just rolled over, why am I upside down? Why did the world flip? And so now it turned into this whole thing where he realized he could seriously book it if he ends up rolling on his belly. So at the most random times, he'll just like roll over from his back. He'll just be sleeping in the middle of the night. Can't even see what's going on around him. He'll flip over on his belly and just start crawling straight into a railing. It's like, where do you think you're going? Like, I don't care. I just want to go. I have received energy from sleeping. I can run infinitely now. Ah, it's hilarious to watch. I mean, granted, not so hilarious because you're immediately paranoid the second their head gets remotely close to a railing, but still, you know, he's just there like, I want to go, I need to go, I need to go. He's just over there peeling, like we've got a few blankets layered up for the sake of making it cozier for him. He's just over there like peeling blankets up and everything. He's like, ooh, look, new textures. He's just there like scratching at it. Just because they friggin' love doing that. Maybe you just wanted to poop. Maybe you just wanted to poop, exactly. I mean, little dude just wants to poop sometimes. Although, you really know. We just jokingly refer to it as the Rolling Thunder. But he'll just sit there, like looking around for a second, and then just get this terrified look on his face, and you just hear and just like, you immediately know that you either are running over that, changing that right now, or you're gonna need to go and break out the shout spray because scale armor, that looks fancy. Because he's about to have a blowout all over that mess, and yeah, it's kinda nuts when that happens. Okay, Rick is attacking, and looks like Cleric Squad's trying to maybe edge their way in there. Alright. We'll see, we'll see. Bunch of sleeping witches, and Rick's all like, oh yeah, I can make friends. Of course, you know, his method of making friends, not exactly what one would describe as ideal, but, you know, he's a social outcast at all forms of his life for a reason. Presumably, I like to think that, since March of the Black Queen, like, he ended up defecting, he ended up going around, and then just the Ring of the Dead hated his guts, and even that left him. Like, dude, I just don't like you, and it just flies off his finger. And at that point, he was like, okay, even the jewelry won't let me be their friend. So he just goes back to wizard school, you know, gets his diploma this time for real. Didn't just print it off of some random shady site. Just downloaded one, just very crappily MS painted a signature on there. Like, yep, looks legit. No, they almost killed my gremlin. Bad ninjas. Friggin' fancy ninjas with your fancy claws. Ah, so rude. So friggin' rude. Okay. Now, Leah's squad can win this, so it's the only reason I'm going to try to risk this a little bit. But we are going to swap around their formation. Let's go ahead and get Frost back in this one switched. Let's get these two switched, and there we go. We've got Rapari. That's not ideal either. You know what? Gremlins in the back, fairy in the front. I know technically this team is supposed to have one more fairy instead of a gremlin, but screw it. They were a holdover. I'm not gonna go disqualify the run over something like that, so There we go. Now, we're going to go ahead and move to this one. Steve's going to sit there for a minute and let these guys all do cleanup, and then we're probably going to have Leah go take a town or two. I mean, if this was their big, scary wave, that's a little bit embarrassing. Like, last time they came in, they're like, oh, we found a fool? Okay. I don't know what a fool does, but I'm going to go ahead and quick save it just in case something crashes. Because I want big fancies. Alright, go ahead and, yeah, just attack leader. Get your healing plus bullcrap out of here, along with your triple fatal dances. Are you serious? Just finish her. What are you doing? Okay, one guy gone. None of these are putting anyone to sleep. A little bit depressing. I mean, they got some experience, but yeah, that squad is actually getting more healing done outside of camp. Right, do you guys have items? No. Tell you what, just camp for the moment. Whatever, somebody's gonna... I mean, we're controlling all the towns. There's nothing they can really do. So somebody will finish them off at some point. They've really got no logistical support at this point. I'm gonna say at this point a bunch. At this point. And, yeah. It's kind of about that. No, he got paralyzed. Like, please, stop lightninging us. We're just trying to take a nap. We're not even relevant. We're just over here on a friggin' girls' night out, and you're over here shooting lightning. Rick doesn't care. He doesn't understand words. They're complicated. Not about that word life. Okay, yeah, these guys are down. Just a bunch of wizards and sorceresses and stuff. Why is it that they were sorceresses in this one, but then they became enchantresses once the Luck remake came around? Like, they clearly took some inspirations from this. Like, the fact that, you know, you've got your knights doing healing and all that kind of thing. Which, I guess is mostly because they didn't want to include the paladin as a regular thing, but then they also wanted to have the paladin as a separate class. So, like, screw it, we just want knights that are able to heal around mid-game anyway. Which they could have reserved for white knights. They could have just made white knights into paladins, and that would have just, like, made it all come together. There were so many little things that if they did slightly different, it would have all just melded together great, and then, like, no. But we decided to go a different way with it, just because. Let's see. Back row prefers attacking the enemy in the back row. True, it does seem to be like they attacked that triangle. I don't really have a mouse to show this off, but they seem to have a preference over which part of the triangle they end up hitting. It just feels like, in general, where I have Rick's whole situation back there, it just seems like the proper way to do it. Or, at least, it seems to be working for what I'm trying to accomplish. Which is mostly just damaging and decapitating squads enough that somebody else can come in and eat it like a bird. It's been given its first meal and all that. It's like they have a preference for it, but, for example, since most of these enemies seem either in the back row or in the center, lightning shot from the back still seems to be able to hit them just fine. Okay, we're about to lose another one. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Not gaining any levels, but doing okay. And everyone's gonna wind up neutral. Neutral is life. Neutral is life. I like to think Rick's just rolling along singing here. Just singing Neutral is life as he's over here lightninging these poor enchantresses or sorceresses over and over. Actually, it still cracks me up that they... Man, what is it? There were so many things about that Luck remake. It's like, I don't know why they went with it. Like, okay, the witches, right? Why is it that they were sirens all the rest of the time, but then that time's like, no, they're witches now. But the ones with the witches hat, no, they're enchantresses. Yep. But sir, why? And he's just sitting there just snorting crap loads of cocaine like, I don't know, but I also need... You know what I need? I need an ability that looks at the weather, okay? And I need another one that tells you what kind of drops you can get, okay? Okay? Just sitting there spazzing out as they're taking notes. I have a weird opinion of the guy, what can I say? I just like to think maybe he just sits there, like, looking all crazed out of his mind at the time, just, like, sitting there, like, going into... Oh, does that mean there's a shop? There's a shop. Pointy hats and staves and Book of Bane. Ooh. Well, ain't you fancy? Well, we can't afford you. We've got a booby dress, but we can't really make use of that right now. And we got... Ooh. Look at that. We can afford one. I'm not going to remember to ever actually equip them on anyone, but hey, they're there. So we have them. What's left of this one? Feels like just a bunch of dudes. Okay. Reasonably hard hitters, I suppose. But yeah, I like to think that at all times Matsuno just has this this poster in the back of wherever he's working. It's just like, you know how you have the Ghostbusters logo, except it's instead of a ghost, it's just a spear. Nice, I got levels. And then just like right under it, remember, a Guisarm is definitely not a polearm. Ignore Google. You know the truth. Rick, what is your situation? In fact, you know, I'm gonna have to step away for just a moment here. Oh wow, he is somehow completely untouched by all those encounters. He's surprisingly stunned, but, you know, aside from occasional twitchiness, he seems to be doing alright. Let's have Nancy, or Amanda here. Let's have her move in. Punch these guys off. See, Leah is pretty severely underleveled at this point, but I'm gonna have her back off for the moment. Just because I don't really want to risk any injuries. In fact, let's have you go ahead and go this way, and then go this way. Perfect. But yeah, no, funnily enough, so what I was saying about the whole spear thing, despite being relatively underpowered, you could actually make a really overpowered spear with a little bit of effort in Vagrant's story. Like, despite the fact that a lot of this stuff about them wasn't terribly amazing, you could just do some really cool stuff there. Like, I had one that I just kept dumping everything that I could into. So it was this thing that was pretty much good against everything except dragons for some reason. Even though its scores didn't exactly line up, like I don't know if there was some elemental weakness or something, but it's just like the stars aligned for that one. So it just wound up being good against people, wound up being good against undead, wound up being good against random monsters and stuff. And then, yeah, for whatever reason, just like it did nothing to dragons. Just because everything was extremely all or nothing in that one. You know, I never did finish going through that Vagrant Story Rebalance mod, but I hope that they did something about the fact that everybody spams debuffs like no tomorrow. Like, yes, it does make them a legitimate threat, but good god is it annoying to sit through those same animations 50 friggin' times when you ended up taking a wrong turn. And so you're just walking through a room, they're like, oh, friggin' Heracles and Prostasia, and then they're going and doing Degenerate and Weaken on you, and it's like, dude, you really have to do 4 casts in a row, and then I have to go and counter all those same ones, do those exact same abilities. Again! And then you find out that, oh no, you cast all those buffs on the wrong weapon, and then you switch weapon types, like, okay, this one guy was a regular soldier guy. This guy's a zombie. For some reason they were both just fighting together, don't worry about it. Like, fine, and then you end up switching weapons, and then it turns out one of them was wearing a different armor type, so you need a different damage type. Like, I love these systems, but dude, this is so tedious! Like, everything up to that point is so good, and all the randomness of all the abilities and everything else is so good. Why did they all need to have those buff and debuff abilities? It's so tedious! Like, why did the random knight guy that didn't know those abilities die and come back with them? Was kind of the thing that always came to mind for me. Man, I have some water right on my throat here. Yeah, you guys are gonna lose. Yeah, fair enough. Her squad does nothing. Nothing at all. Okay. And Leah, how are you holding up? You about ready to go back to Mage Hunter status here? Not so much. But yeah, he's just gonna take out this one, go back to town, easy peasy. Or at the very least, he's gonna injure these guys pretty severely. and or accidentally vaporize some of them as you do. Figure his alignment might go up a little bit. Or did it just drop down again? I hope they're not becoming chaotic. We don't want to become chaotic, despite the fact that what we're doing is strictly chaotic. Okay, there we go. Stronghold. Nanocrete kind of sounds like a fancy, like, future version of concrete. Okay, still neutral, chaotic, 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 neutral, neutral. I think we're gonna have to get rid of the gremlin for the time being. Just see about improving his standing a little bit. He's neutral for now, but I feel like that's not gonna last. Maybe Nanocrete is made of bananas. It's also a possibility. So it's gonna get all weird and twitchy here for a second. There we go, need to swap around some stuff. And there we are. Should be all good, because I need to make sure my phone is charging, because this stupid thing does not want to charge ever at this point. That's a shame, it's only about a 2-year-old phone, but something about its charging port is completely busted up. Internet was being weird? Is it just weird in general at your new place, or what? You know, lately we've been having an issue with Comcast going in and out constantly. Hopefully that's fixed now. Still, it was a bit annoying. Who is texting me and why? There we go. Oh, I got a level. Nifty. And they're almost done hunting those guys down. I must wonder how an auto-resolve function would have potentially worked in this. I feel like if this ended up coming out in 2018, this would have had like just a quick auto-resolve. Or something along those lines, anyway. Alright, I'm gonna have to swap those two around before that... Yeah, okay, never mind. He's safe now. I was gonna say before that knight gets lucky. And one more encounter. More friggin' encounter. Actually, now that I think about it, it would be hilarious with the different options that were available. It would have been hilarious to see what would happen if Bethesda had made this game. Of all things, you're technically still using old Wi-Fi. Technical reasons they can't move over here until Monday. Well, that sucks and doesn't suck at the same time. At least it'll do it, hopefully. I had this really dumb situation that occurred once in Florida, where they had to send like 8 different guys out. Because every time they would, there was some different aspect of the way that they were connected that they wouldn't be able to handle. So, like, for example, they would send out one guy and like, oh, you know, I'm technically not allowed to go mess with that box. So they're going to send a different guy. Like, okay, I'm able to mess with the box, but I'm not allowed to mess with this type of wiring. And then they send out another guy like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm allowed to mess with the wiring, but I'm not allowed to touch the box, and I'm also not allowed to touch these different connector sections over here. And they'll send another guy out and like, nope, I'm technically not allowed to connect it to the house. Like, just send somebody that can put these two pieces together. So ultimately, I just ended up going and taking care of it myself, at which point they literally threatened to take me to court. They're like, oh, you're modifying equipment. I'm like, no. You can just shut up and say that you did your job, because no. It's done, it's corrected, just turn it on, okay? There's no reason for this stupid bullcrap. It took 3 weeks for them to go and connect that thing. And Mr. Buckle, I technically don't. This was a once-in-a-blue-moon kind of thing. Basically, you know, sitting here watching the kiddos play, doing this kind of thing. Yesterday, it kind of exploded. But yeah, since I figure since I'm probably going to be doing less of these, and you know, just wanted to throw a couple of them out here. Had a bit of a weird moment where I think I got my issues financially sorted, maybe, kind of, sort of, so nothing better I can do aside from just sitting, watching, and doing anything else here, so there we go. Send them all over at once? I tried. They just wouldn't do it. Alright, there we go. Leah actually got some training in, look at that. She got a little bit of experience anyway. She might even get a promoted unit one of these days. I hear those exist. Okay. Anyway, so she's gonna go ahead and hang out in town. Leah, I want you up here. So here, you're actually pretty good, but drop off later. I think we can send out Butts for now, and then we can... As soon as I can select him, because apparently Rick is just off the screen and I'm not allowed to select him. That's a new one. He's able to come down here. There we go. This does not seem as difficult as I was expecting. I mean, they really hyped up this group that was gonna just come and curb stomp us like crazy, and no. Nothing. Like, I'm sorry, did you mean that Mr. Butts got promoted and he's gonna hack everybody down like the friggin' grass? Because that's definitely happening. Pew, 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 pew. I almost want to give him his fancy sword back just to see how ridiculously he does. Wow. Wow. Get wrecked. Man, that's really something else. Does not give a crap over here. You know what? Screw it. Go take this town. Why not? Get some free experience and all that. So what I want you to do is, yeah, this way, first of all. I meant to have them select different areas, but we're going to go this way first. This is just going to be mean. Yeah, he's throwing out 80s, just casually. Oof. Casual 80s. Yeah, just go take that town. I was hoping to avoid this particular team, but whatever. It's interesting that they showed... Oh no, wait, that guy is their leader. I was gonna say it was interesting that they showed the Malmalkin thing if they have a paladin leading it, but no. It looks like he is the one leading them. So holy crap, he just did like 250 in one round. Like, what the actual hell? Have them use fusion so they can touch all the things. See, the time has come where generic is stronger than unique. Yeah. He's doing way better than everybody. I heard paladins were OP in this, but I didn't think it was this OP. Like, this is some comical crap right here. I mean, he's just going over there hacking everybody down like nothing. They just don't even matter. Though, yeah, now that you mention it, Aznabel has been completely and utterly worthless this entire time. It's pretty impressive. Oh, okay, there's that scary ability. So we took one casualty. Just one. We won't take any more. He actually managed to lose, how about that? Hyped him up a little bit too much. But again, that's why I was hearing good things about that class as well. Alright, you finish off this guy. Steve, I think we're pretty much good to just charge up ahead here. Yeah, Belmockin guys are just running away, that's perfectly fine. End this quickly. But yeah, I was mentioning this earlier, but it's interesting that even when it... yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't so much pride as much as that gremlin took a bunch of crits to the face. So, I mean, that's going to be a downside. Yeah, so main character, I hear, is gonna wind up becoming pretty worthless because I overleveled him pretty early on here. But I'm figuring if I can let Butts take over his charging role here, I might be able to catch that up a little bit. Yeah, this Twitch dance of theirs is a bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie. I'll take out their leader. They almost did. Good, they chased him out of town so he can recover. The Leia main character is stuck at lesser class while your generic is paladin. Yeah, I'm curious to see what their improved class is gonna be. Ooh, what's this? Hello. Dude, what? Yes, we do. Yeah, we did that. Hell yeah. It's, friggin', what's his face? Debonair's wife. Sweet. So we got another team now. Of course, we're gonna have to change all her units into, something a little bit different here. That's fine. Alright. Yeah. Leah, I'm just gonna need to have you go here, take a little bit of a nap. Oh, nice. We got new dudes. Yeah, so you're just gonna go here. Everybody else can go get their free experience, and at that point, we should be good to go. If you stop leveling up immediately and wait for their class promotion, they will catch up, otherwise generic is stronger. Okay, gotcha. I mean, for now, I kind of need Steve to win at least the castle fights, so he's gonna still take on those. He's not even leveling up any farther at this point. Like, he's literally just stuck at his level, because they're... Even when they're taking wins, they're still wins that are coming in at, like, 2 experience, so they're not really making any progress there. Also, I haven't been entering strongholds, which I should probably do. I do like that you don't have to properly enter them to actually see these scenes. Let's see, so Revolutionary Armies have been taking Lotus 2, Darishu can handle them. No. That's a definite solid no. However, every time they send dudes, they seem to lose, and they seem to love overstretching themselves, so we're going to go with maybe. Solid maybe. And yeah, I'm going to have everybody hunt down their last XP here before Steve goes and wins the fight. They're probably not even going to get a chance. Actually, Steve... Anyway, camp for a second. So as soon as he breaks camp, it's over. Steve currently a Vanguard, he is currently a Gladiator, and currently proceeding to raffle-stomp the crap out of everything he runs into. Why isn't Armored Core an esport? I want to get rich too. Because it does not have enough flashy lights. That's why. And also because every single time there's a community for it, it tends to implode on itself. Over and over. It's just an endless complete crappery. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. What is it about? I think it's just the fact that everybody has these, you know, custom machines and whatever else. I think when it comes to a lot of the esports stuff and everything else, there's usually that kind of whole thing where people are going and buying skins and doing all this other kind of stuff, but they know the overall balance of the game comes from the balance, not from the way that they set up their whatever it was that they were doing. Why do they fight for the Brown Balkans? They're just... Oh, dude, you gonna die. Nope. Yeah, Mr. Doll Wizard of the KKK over here. Goodbye. Crap ain't gonna fly. That sweet statue you got there, it's a shame it's about to get completely torn down. And he's super slow. So unfortunately, we're not getting all those extra attacks and getting that sweet fire move, but whatever. But yeah, no, it's definitely a bummer that AC doesn't get more recognition or anything. It's got so much stuff that's there, it's got so much potential in it. Honestly, I feel like From just kind of misses the point of what actually makes their stuff fun a lot of the time. Like, it feels like a lot of times they end up making good things kind of just on accident, in a way. Because they're really good at map design. They're really good at you know, coming up with interesting balance mechanics and stuff like that. And then they don't seem to realize why people like this or that. Embracer of Protection, that sounds good. Actually, wait, that's one of those items that makes people improve as they level, isn't it? I know that there were some items that do that. That sounds... I was told it works like Pokemon, basically. Where you give them a thing, and it's like, here's this macho brace, you're gonna get all super strong from carrying it around. You're gonna get slow as a result. And then they get different stats per level or something. Yeah, not gonna lie, part of the reason I don't want to fight these Belmont guys, sure, it can be a good guy thing, but it's also the fact that they keep using Fatal Dance over and over. Yes, Steve Growth in Gladiator is bad. Hell yeah, I'm sure it absolutely is. He's dropping off pretty quick here, but I kinda still need him to do stuff. But right now we have Butts. Like, right now we have Butts and Rick, and they're pretty much taken over for the front line. So, should be alright at that point. The only real difference is that he's able to use lightning from this thing, so there's that. I'm probably just gonna have Butts come in here and take this town. And I think after this fight, like right before the big one, is probably when I'm gonna end up calling it. For the moment, anyway, because gotta go have lunch, gotta go make sure the kiddos have their lunches. Butts is busy chasing after that archer over there, like, oh man, gonna ask her out, except he doesn't know how to talk to people. Because that helmet is messing up his voice, so he tries to say, you know, he's trying to go and ask her out on lunch or something like that, and instead it's like, you know, go stab for Jesus or something like that, because he's a paladin. So you can make Steve Growth better in the next run? Jeez, are we that confident that this run's gonna fail? No. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. So far, it's like it's definitely feeling like March of the Black Queen did, where there's just enough options to have one really strong character that's able to carry entire squads. So there's that. But yeah, no, the next run I was thinking to do after this one, I was probably going to be just a straight up no revives run, just because I want to see how that would work. Also, these guys will have to run out of items eventually. The run may not fail, but your Steve will fail. Boo. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Don't worry, King Arthur run will go better. What's that consist of? I can only use classes that use fancy swords. Actually, this may be kind of a weird thing to bring up, but I really liked what they did with King Arthur in, if you've ever seen Once Upon a Time, which, if that show is admittedly like an absolute, for lack of a better term, chick show and all that kind of thing, but it definitely had its cringy moments. But they did... The long and short of that show is, like, they originally started with all Disney, like, old Disney properties, and then they worked in all the Disney stuff, and then just, like, start working in obscure fairy tale stuff, and they're all just trans-dimensionally hopping back and forth, and a bunch of them are, like, the weird, like, European horrible ending versions and stuff like that. So, I think they had a whole bunch of the characters get killed off. Actually, the death rate in that show is surprisingly Game of Thronesy at times. But specifically, they had King Arthur in there, and originally they play him up as as just like a generic, you know, good guy, storybook good guy kind of thing. The eventual English version of the story, not the French version, and all that kind of thing. And then and then just like it just becomes clear that literally all he cares about is his shiny sword. Like he's just going around backstabbing people, betraying people all over the place. It's like, I need to have my shiny sword. Like, but you have your shiny sword. Like, no, I have like half of it, and then the other one is this plot device, and I have to go get the plot device. And then he like murders a bunch of dudes. Anyway, you can always overlevel Steve later with all the goth in the world. You get infinite money later? Dude. Likes that idea. Yeah, so far we are broke as crap. But yeah, no, I will try that SNES game at some point, Mr. Cow. Let's see, most esports games are complicated. Yeah, that one in particular, that's the tragic part about it. So Armored Core is basically what would happen if you mixed a mech simulator and a fighting game. And the one-on-ones on that are amazingly technical, but the problem is that there's... I just feel like with a lot of builds, there's oftentimes not much they can do against certain other ones. Like, for example, if it depends which generation you went with, because they kept wildly altering the balance. If they didn't do that, if they didn't wildly change where everything was and just stuck with what worked for first to third gen, they probably would be doing a whole lot better right now. But it's just one of these cases where they just kept changing what each of the parts do. They kept changing how much simulation aspects were in there. They kept changing, eventually, even like how all the machines worked. So, like, originally the way it worked was basically, if you think about a completely three-dimensional Dark Souls, as in, like, instead of just using your stamina to swing things and move around and stuff like that, you also use them to fly, or you use them to power different amounts of energy weapons or things like that. So, like, for example, you'd have, you know, 2 machine guns on each arm, and you'd have orbits on your back, so you'd pull out the orbits, and basically they'd be firing lasers and things like that. So you'd have less mobility, but you'd basically have more damage going out, and, you know, maybe you had an issue with somebody charging, so you'd have mines on there, and you'd scatter some mines out in front of you. And then, you know, maybe you realize that more mobility would help with this build, so you'd replace the orbits with an Ogre boost, so you'd be able to fly more, or maybe you'd go for just a lighter setup. It's just, it had so much good stuff that potentially worked. Like, especially by the time they got to 3rd gen. That's like the quote-unquote golden age of it, because they finally figured out, you know, where all these different tricks were, but then they kept having weird missteps. Because every time they released a sequel, they kept having an issue where they released it at a bad time, you know, they just didn't bother marketing it, they just... any matter of different things kept coming up over and over and over and over and over. So every time they released a sequel, it sold like absolute hot garbage. Despite the fact that they put a ton of love into it, and you can tell, but they kept having issues where they wouldn't sell because they didn't know how to sell. See, Armor Core with improved VR may come in the future. They tried first-person mode a couple of times, but dude, that game played in first-person is nauseating. Like, just because there's no need for this unit to camp, they're injured, let them camp. Alright, whatever, you guys need to retreat then. But yeah, no. You definitely don't want to play them in first person, I will say that much. That's a good way to get motion sickness. But that's mostly just because of the way that they fly and everything. See, it may come that time, it's harder to play than nowadays. Pilot Flight Simulator, that's the thing though. Like, VR, it's awesome for that, and actually it's kind of depressing because they did, from the company that makes them, did actually kind of try to do that before, if you've ever heard of Steel Battalion. The first Steel Battalion, it was technically not well, it was played in first person, but it was the one that came with like a 64-button controller, and get this in terms of generally awesome stuff, right? Because it's basically a game that had permadeath. Like, if your character died, your save file was deleted. If your machine was destroyed but you managed to get out of it, you're perfectly fine. So it kind of worked like if you've ever played IL-2 and you played a campaign on that, it kind of worked like that. But you basically had all of your functions of your machine. It was basically just like a walking... I think they call them vertical tanks in that one. So you were just like a walking tank kind of situation. You had all these, you know, sprawling missions and everything else, and there was all this cool stuff going on. I had like full functioning voice commands and everything. And people that dove deep into that game got really deep into that game. Like, it got pretty insane. But they tried to make another one. And this is another one of what I mean. Like, it sucks that every time that From tried to release a mech game, they got the worst ending every time. That's the best way I can put it. Because they tried to release one for the Kinect, and it technically would have worked really well. But it was on the frickin' Kinect, so it sucked. Like, the Kinect was the problem. The game itself worked well. The fact that the Kinect couldn't actually understand what the hell was going on 90% of the time, that ended up killing it. So everyone's looking at this thing like, oh man, this thing is absolute garbage, you know, nothing works. How could they possibly make such a broken mess? And you could tell that at some point, you know, like, all the individual things, all the functions are there. Everything seems to function well, but it's just the fact that it was on the Kinect that caused it to suck. Is that seeing it through a weird lens? Maybe. But I feel like if it hadn't been on that, if they just tried to make it work on a PC or something, if they made a PC release, just like, instead of leaning back and forth, you just use the mouse wheel. it would have been just fine. So like they put it on the Kinect, so it sucked because the Kinect is absolute trash. And yeah, I mean, it would have been a perfect thing for it. What from behind? There we go. Get to see that close range Steve that we were talking about earlier, as he does his bajillion damage. Yeah, so he does 50s instead of 40s. But still, you know, he's not hitting where I want him to hit. Oh well, this is fine. Anyway, so then every previous game though, like the first Armored Core when they put it out, that came out perfectly. Like that was their second best selling one. Actually, AC2 is the best selling one. AC1 and AC2 they released at the launch of those systems, and they actually bothered marketing them, and they sold great because that series is really fun. But then they decided for every follow-up, like they had two follow-ups for the first game, they had one follow-up for the second game, technically speaking, didn't bother marketing them at all. See, anyone watch Megabot vs. Karatas? Yes. And by the way, if you want to see friggin' awesome Armored Core stuff in terms of being a joy to watch, go look up 4-Answer Battle Royale. Watch any match. Tell me that crap isn't awesome. Like 4-Answer specifically, just dude, those games were so fun to watch and play. I probably spent about half a year actually just watching matches before I even had the money to pick up the game because, well, I was broke as hell. Yeah, Megabot vs. Karatas, that wasn't even, like, you could tell the entire thing was staged as hell, but still, you know, maybe that'll cause, maybe in the future, you know, it'll cause the sport to break out of it, who knows. But anyway, actually, I remade that fight in one of the Armored Core games, by the way. 4-Answer, or not 4-Answer, Formula Front. It's basically one of the AC games that allows you to set up AI fights. And so I just went ahead and rebuilt both of them as best I could as Armored Cores, and just gave them AIs and let them fight it out. Anyway, so they just released an Anniversary Collection on modern system with online playability. Yeah, here's the thing, they keep releasing soundtracks. Like, they keep putting out soundtracks and stuff like that, and putting out surveys, and then they keep missing the fact that, dude, the classic peoples are still here, and they love the classics. Exactly, like, if they just released the old games, made a collection or something like that, if they put the hardcore mode from Verdict Day, and then they just, like, put that on all the older games, like, I don't care if that's $300, I'm gonna find a way to get that. That mess is ridiculously good. I'm broke as hell, but I would find a way to get that, because that is really good. I'm sure it probably won't happen, because to understand what happened there, they keep misreading the signs. Like, the reason that we got 5th gen like we did, namely they went the whole dark and gritty route, is because, okay, so they had the original games, and people really liked them, and they sold decently. Sales dropped off, cost of production went up. People were asking for more of a simulation aspect, like, oh, you know, we have these machines, it would be cool if, you know, there was more heat management and stuff like that, and so they did it. And so we got Nexus, and Nexus was awesome, but the balance was a little bit meh at times. So they fixed it, and they're like, okay, you know, we made Last Raven, except they spent all that time redoing all the systems, and they forgot to make... Well, people wanted to see branching storylines expanded more on, they wanted to see simulation expanded more on, they wanted heat mechanics fixed. They technically did that, then at the expense that they didn't really think about any of their mission design, so the game itself wound up being really bland to play if you were playing single player. Like, it had a bunch of cool stuff, and it had a really cool branching storyline. It was cool to see how everything affected everything, but still, the map design sucked. Like, especially the power plant. Screw that place. Ended up absolutely dreading ever going to the power plant in that game. Alright, I'm gonna have you move over here. And probably camp after that. Anyway. So yeah, I always ended up dreading going to that power plant. And then... so that was fine, and then people were saying, okay, you know, this was pretty slow, we're not sure how we liked about this, you know, it'd be cool if they maybe made some kind of sports thing out of it, and then we got Formula Front, which is basically straight up, like, in-universe, they made it into an esport, funnily enough. Another Century series, by the way, that does actually have 9-ball in it. So I can't believe you put this journal for such a petty matter. Screw you, buddy. Anyway, I don't know, I really, really hate the power plant. just because of the types of challenge runs that I like to do, they got ruined by that power plant over and over. But no. So then people were wanting, more freedom back in it. They wanted more speed, movement, and everything. And so AC4 happened, and 4-Answer happened. Because, they just freed up the movement, and everything was on new systems now. It was great. Like, it felt fantastic. Didn't worry, took such a big risk for us. For foreigners who have no stake in your kingdom. Yeah, you better have a stake now. Like, the official reasons we helped you, the unofficial reasons we're good guys or something. We were actually just afraid of your fatal dance move, but whatever. There we go. Like, are you asking for help or no? I'm wondering if there's actually an app. Kind of wonder if they're going to come back. It feels like they're going to come back. Any darn ways. So yeah, AC4 happens, and it's basically like complete freedom of movement, excellent sense of flight going on in that thing. I will say AC4 has some of the worst translation I've ever seen, full stop, but still, there was a lot of cool stuff going on there. And then 4-Answer comes out, and it's just like, honestly, if I was to recommend a ridiculously amazing point in the series for people to try, AC4-Answer is so good. Like, in terms of its overall presentation and how good it feels to play and stuff like that. Its systems were a bit obtuse, I will say that, but it feels so good. And then, actually, the multiplayer is actually still live on that one. And then they realized that the 4-Answer, despite the fact that they marketed it, didn't sell as well as they'd like. And so they were looking at trends at the time. They're like, oh, look at this. People like dark and gritty. We need to make that. And so they made 5 and Verdict Day. And, yeah. So if you're ever wondering why the hell those were all dark and gritty and everything, they looked at 3 factors for the game. First of all, the only mech game of theirs that sold at least somewhat okay around that time was, well, at least had gotten a decent following and was considered to be interesting, was Metal Wolf Chaos. So they decided, okay, people must have liked the movement in that game, not the fact that it's a complete psychotic amazingness. The actual gameplay of it, kind of meh, but the absolute craziness of the game is what drew them. But they looked at the wrong factor, and it's just a running theme that they always look at the wrong thing and decide, hey, this is why people liked X, Y, or Z. And that's basically what ends up happening. When it comes to the Souls games and stuff like that, they kind of sort of figured it out. The formula was well enough that people ignored a lot of stuff that happened there. But when it came to AC, they kept looking at the wrong thing over and over and over, and that's basically what they've more or less admitted at this point. Like, if you end up looking at a lot of their, a lot of the stuff they put out, they're more or less unofficially saying, we have no clue what we're doing with the series. We have no idea whatsoever. So, anyway, hopefully they'll do something beyond just, releasing soundtracks over and over, because now, apparently, their main idea is, hey, people must have liked the series for the soundtrack. Really? How hard is it to understand? You made what is more or less a 3D flying fighting game. You made DBZ with mechs. Why is this hard for you to understand? Also, it is almost Steve's birthday! Go ahead and end that on a birthday, why not? Events, what do we get for our birthday? Yeah! Gimmeo. Okay. This is his birthday? Gimmeo 13, apparently. Go ahead and go through this one, just make sure he turns 33. There we are. Then we'll just go ahead and skip over it. I just want to make sure I'm not missing an item because I don't know how long we've been traveling around. Yeah, if you didn't know, you get an item for your birthday every year. Anyway, 13, there we go, and now let's go ahead and have another birthday. Gimme your birthday! Okay. What do we got? Or, I guess... Whatever, let's get Magnus Doll. I don't know what that does. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that is his current birthday. Let's have a feast. Feast with roast beast. Of how they just have a random soldier I don't even have. Yep. Oh, no, wait, Dio's right there. I was gonna say, I wonder where Dio went. Okay, Crystal of Precision, so that's useful. Or Gallant Doll. You heard DBZ with Mechs a lot. I've always wanted to see Super 17. I don't know, I just think if they brought back the same stuff that... The best parts of, like, 3 in Silent Line, 4 Answer, and Verdict Day. Just, like, mix that together somehow and made that. I don't think it'll happen, because, again, I just don't... I don't know, they're misunderstanding every sign. It's like somebody, you know, who has an anniversary coming up or something like that, and they're like, oh, you know, I see my wife's over there. I'm seeing that they're liking the color green. I should go get them a cactus. Like, or they're hinting at that, you know, piece of jewelry over there that they keep leaving pictures out everywhere. No, I think they like the color green and they want a cactus. Like, it's basically what it's making me think of every time there. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and have me a lunchtime now. So next week for this one, gonna be going ahead and having that fight there, and be getting everybody trained up and all that kind of thing. Definitely not gonna train up Steve anymore, since apparently that's just a bad thing. However, I am probably gonna dump a bunch of training on some of the rest of these guys so they can actually not suck, especially Troy. Got a broom for your birthday, now you can complain better. Basically, that's honestly what From's general strategy seems to be at this point. Let's see, an Ogre battle stat is more complicated or more important than weapons. Very true, very true. But actually, come to think of it, hang on, before we do all that, sword item. Where's the option for buying items? Buy equipment. There we go. Let me see what classes are available, just to see what we need. So. Alder Mace, Rub of the Wise, and Rosary. So we can get priests at this point, so we can upgrade our 2 to priests. Can we get Doll Mages yet? I don't think we can because of my screwed up kind of reasons. Amazon, yes, I do want to get an Amazon because I haven't upgraded both of them. Fighter. Fencer I'm not going to bother with. I know I can get a Swordmaster, but apparently a Paladin is just better in every way, at least I've been told. So what I'm going to do, just real quick before I end up inevitably forgetting this. Back up, remove character, let's go ahead and... I want to make Barbara into that thing. Yeah, I do want to make her... I do want to change her into a different thing here, so... We're going to upgrade Barbara. Actually, I think we have a bow that matches her element too. We're going to upgrade Amanda, and we're going to upgrade Katrina. Okay. Again, not a fan of doing it this way, but I guess it's for system limitations. Okay, we get Aisha the Priest. Oh, that's where we're getting it from, so there's a decent chance we actually won't be able to upgrade them. Priest, yeah. I'll meet the prerequisites. What about you? You good enough? You don't have the intelligence or mentality. Ugh. No, I don't feel like reforming those, so... Boop. There we go. Let's see. Only Steve, Leah can get that bad if you level them up. The rest doesn't matter. Okay. So Leah, I will go ahead and shelf as well in order to trade them out for Aisha, who I will never not be able to see as the Saints Row character. But yeah, Barbara, I am gonna go ahead and change to an archer. Character. Yeah, Barbara I feel is doing alright. And last time I really just didn't want to change her because I was worried to see how a few things would go here. So, go ahead and do that one. I'm going to go ahead and give them a bow. And then I think if I get a great bow... I think it was a great bow. Team commands, form unit. Right, she's not allowed to... Tell you what. I'm actually just gonna throw... no. Let's give you... 2 soldiers, a gremlin, a fairy. Go ahead and exit the screen. Let's see. This one, weapons are multipliers of swords, though, so plus, say, strength or whatever isn't the same as plus A and gain. Okay. Makes sense. Stay in Canyon, or... yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and... let's see. For Amazons, I think I need hard leather, great bow. Say hard leather, great bow, and then... I don't know what else. But either way, we're gonna go ahead and run through the shops here real quick. I might run into some stuff on the road. And hope and notice that Aisha did not actually come with a full team, so we're gonna have to find something... gonna have to have some stuff there. Oh, right, I was supposed to rejoin her with the rest of her units, wasn't I? Well, I guess it'll be time to go back there and get her to rejoin her team. Hopefully they're not gone. Steve, go to the shop. Okay, not there, not there, not there, not there. Okay, nothing for us to do here. Let's go ahead and go to Malaysia. I'm never gonna not enjoy Castle Dunkweld. They just show up and they dunk on everyone. Anyway, though. Keep marching on over that way. Yeah, so I'm gonna try this town. If this town doesn't have it, then I'm basically just gonna cut it off there. See about going through the rest of the towns while having some lunch. I guess technically speaking, I could save that whole trying to get 50 thing for later. Maybe just kind of mute it for a little while going through towns and then continue it on until... Nah, I feel like a two-parter might be better. Shop. Okay. Leather hat, there we go. That feels like an archer thing. Feels like an archer thing. Now, where do we find some hard leather? Where's Gimp Town? You'd find Gimp Town somewhere. Not an actual place. Lunch? It's Sunday here? How is it Sunday there already? It's still Saturday. It's like lunchtime on Saturday. What the hell kind of time machine are you living in? Okay. Thank you to Vale for telling me how exactly to set it. Or was it Vale that told me how to do this trick? The whole auto-selecting which town has the shop in it? I don't know. Anyway, be right back. At the very least.